You are listening to the Morris County Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around good guy and co-owner of Get It Cleaned, Paul Valverde. Now, on to the show.
Hello to all my successful and thriving entrepreneurs in Morris County. Thank you very much for joining us today. I have the great pleasure to have my friend Jess from Fine Cut Barbershop here with us. Jess, what's up? What's going on? How are you today?
I'm pretty good, Paul. How's it going?
It's going great. I'm so happy that you can join me today. Jess, you run a barbershop that provides a great service. I'm personally a customer and I love getting my hair cut by you. You have such a attention to detail, and I certainly appreciate that a lot. So thank you very much for accepting my invitation. And Jess, I like people to get to know you and get to know about your journey and how you came to do what you're doing today. So can you tell me a little about yourself, perhaps how you got started in the industry?
How I got started? Wow. I got started about like 10 years ago. I just graduated from technical school, Morris County School of Technology, actually, from cosmetology. And looking around for jobs, I ended up in a barbershop, thankfully, because walking to every salon in Dover, where my barbershop is located at, I got into I was basically rejected from every other salon because I didn't have proof that I could do any work. I didn't take much pictures, and still a problem today. But but as you could tell, I have pretty good clientele, thankfully. And this barber, Justin and Sarah, he actually gave me the shot to be a barber. I did a haircut right then and there, and he said, "You're hired. You start Monday." And since then, 10 years ago, I've been cutting in the same location. Now own the barbershop myself, and just I love cutting men. Really, honestly.
Well,
Guys are really relaxing and chill.
tell me about that. So when you went for your license for cosmetology, that's doing men and women's hair, that's doing other things, right? What does it entail?
What's it entail? It's basically cosmetology is it's a broad one. It's women and male haircuts, also manicures, pedicures. I could do perms. I could do almost everything. I just can't do massages, basically. So it's a broad career path, honestly,
And so
for grooming.
what is it that led you to focus particularly on men's haircut?
I have 3 brothers. So with that enough, growing up, they needed haircuts, and with my father cutting their hair, it was very aggressive. Because my little brothers would be they just didn't like the process. And one day when the youngest one was crying so hard, screaming at the top of his lungs, I decided to ask my dad if I could take the clippers and actually do it myself. He just had a 4 guard, so it was just a simple guard all around the head, and I said, let me do it. And I convinced my little brother that I was going to be a lot softer than my father, and it worked. And since then, my mom, every time they needed a haircut, she would just call me to do it.
Nice.
So that's how that.
So in other words,
out.
cutting your siblings' hair was kind of what led you to get a kind of more focus on cutting men's haircut.
Yes, definitely.
Nice.
They were the ones that convinced me to check out a barbershop, actually.
They were. So tell me about that. How long ago was that?
Yeah, 10 years ago. Probably actually more than that. But 10 years ago, I dedicated to the barbershop. And it was my older brother. He just told me, go for it. You're cutting my hair really good. You're cutting my friend's hair really well. So it's just like, why not? Don't be scared. Go. And that's how it happened.
Nice. So how long were you cutting hair, like working as a barber, before you took the huge leap of opening your own barbershop?
Well, that was because, so that's more, whew. So
How
the
many
decision
years?
of opening up,
Yeah.
it took me, I was cutting at the barbershop for 4 years
Yeah.
as an employee. And after the 4 years, I realized, wow, am I going to do another 4 years of just being an employee? Or do I want to branch out and grow a bit more? And that basically convinced me to that. I think it's time to make my own. and that's how it happened. Honestly,
So that
I just said,
entrepreneur spirit in you kind of.
yeah, basically, yeah, a lot of I just push forward, a lot of ambition. That's what it is.
Nice.
So yeah,
And was that scary going through that process?
terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying. I
Well,
didn't know what I was getting into, honestly. It was just more I had an idea, I had the picture in my head, and I just said, all right, so how do I start? And I knew I just had to look to make the name, trademark, get the LLC, and from there just keep going with whatever I knew. As like I knew I needed a station, I knew I needed clippers, I needed someone else that could cut, and I kept on going, and step by step I've been adding on to the business and learning from it as well, obviously, because it's a lot behind
yeah,
the scenes.
definitely. Running your own business brings all kinds of challenges, but it also, I think, it brings the best of you as you overcome those challenges. What would you say were some of the best decisions you made along the way that helped you kind of get ahead in the game or in your industry?
uh ooh, these are good questions. uh what helped me get ahead was honestly the care that I was giving the clientele, and that's what I wanted the barbershop to mostly portray, is care for service and caring for the need of the client. um and it's mostly that, honestly. I think it's just focused on treating the client well, and doing the best you can with their haircut. And I think it's made a huge difference, at least in this area of where I'm at, because in the barbershop I was in. It was more of a hustle, let's call it, where whoever walked in, every barber stood up. You need a cut, you know, and it was just go, 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 get as many clients as you can. And now it's more, I have them where everybody's like, are you being taken care of? Or like, I could take care of you. And branching out from there, honestly, and then just keep on working with seminars and learning more about hospitality, really.
So,
And
what do you enjoy the most about what you do?
my freedom. uh, I like the fact that like I said earlier, you guys are so chill. Men are chill. You guys are relaxed. You come in for the haircut, and if you're gonna talk, you're gonna talk. And I go along with the talk because I love hearing stories. And I think the most I love about it is the fact that there is human interaction, and just genuine human interaction throughout the haircut. I'm helping you out, and in turn, you guys are hearing me out sometimes, even. And then yeah, it's just the interaction I get with you guys. You don't get that. I don't think I've been in the food service industry, service industry. Just go. What do you need? Order. It's not the same interaction that you get here at a shop, and I like that. That's definitely the genuine.
Yeah, for sure. You kind of begin to build a friendship, a relationship.
Mhm.
Going whether you go weekly or every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, and you kind of pick up where you left off in the conversation. And I
And
think that
somehow, some way, it helps the person also feel better.
yeah,
Uh, and you can feel it too as the barber. You feel that they're happy with what just happened. What the half hour they were sitting in the chair, they left with a good cut, and left with a good conversation, a good
feeling good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was it.
What would you say are some of the challenges you faced as becoming a business person or running your own business? What perhaps were some of the difficult things you ran into?
The challenges is the different characters you get for employees, and not and learning that being a boss is not demanding people to do something. Because for me, I learned that if I'm demanding you to do it, it's not going to come out the great. um Also, as in this industry especially, there's ambition in the sense of how far you want to get, how much better you want to get, and your skill set. And you can't push that. You can't force that on the person. They either want it and they'll succeed to do it because they want it, and you'll see that. But yeah, the characters definitely, because not everybody's in that same mentality. So learning how to work with those that are ambitious but need some more structure, let's say,
Yeah.
and their scheduling and this and that, learning that and saying it in a proper way without insulting them, because you don't want to really insult the person. It's not their, like, no, it's just understanding the structure of the business in general.
Yeah.
And that's what it was most difficult to learn. It's
Yeah.
interacting and trying to get your point across without pushing the boundaries, I guess you could say.
Yeah, certainly running your own business, you have to have leadership skills. And that's something that, dealing with different personalities, different, different aspects, different dynamics. Certainly,
Mhm.
I hear you. I hear you. And I, based on what you're saying, is that you're moving in the right direction, or of uplifting the person and kind of making
Mhm.
them excel, motivating them, as
Yeah,
opposed
yeah,
to
that's the
imposing
goal.
anything, right?
Yeah, just getting the best out of them, and realizing that they could do so much better, and that it's definitely possible. So do it. Yeah. So yeah.
If someone who you say you went to Votech, right? Is that
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah. Morris County School of Technology.
You went to Morris County School of Technology. If someone who was about to sign up for the cosmetology program in the Morris County School of Technology asks you,
Mhm.
"Hey, can you give me a word of advice? I want to be one day where you are." What would you say to them?
Uh, Definitely go for it. Focus. Focus a lot on what you want and just that one goal. Um, and don't take it for granted. I mean, it might seem difficult and it might take some time, but at the end, the end result is so worth it, because you can honestly just sculpt your own life with that. So yeah, persevere, and don't let it scare you at all. Just keep going. So yeah, definitely go for it. Yeah.
Nice, nice,
Yeah.
Jessica. When a client comes in and is looking for a haircut, do you find that they usually know exactly what they want, or do they ask for your opinion because they don't know exactly what kind of haircut to get?
I get both.
You
I
do.
get both. Yeah. And sometimes I get people that just don't know what they want. And that's something different too. I work with, there's people that are very picky, and you kind of have to learn how to understand what they're telling you and translate it in your own words. And usually I like to tell them what I got from what they told me, and I tell them, and then if we're on the same page, go for it too. Other times when they're wondering what they want and they're not sure but they like the length, I just usually go for a trim with a little cleanup on the edges. uh, yeah, no, it's sometimes difficult. Sometimes they even ask, when they ask for the opinion of what they should get, I look at the head shape and I figure out what can work well with their face frame and the head shape, because everybody's head's different. There's It's a lot that goes in there. Like, I have to think that.
Eh,
So,
I also like to know, what are some of the misconceptions people have about barbershops, or that at least that you ran into,
well, about barbershops
or
in
barbers in
general.
general. Like,
Well,
for example, I've heard that some people get this idea of some barbers don't use scissors; they only use clippers. You
mhm.
know,
uh, that's actually a huge one. There's a lot of people that believe that, and that barbers, I feel like barbers are actually evolving into better hairdressers, um, especially for men, because now that the long hair is definitely coming back, especially after COVID. So we're getting fancy with it, honestly. And if you don't know how to cut with scissors, uh, that's definitely a thing about the barbershop that most barbers are just learning to do, if that. And also, I don't know why people think that barbering is easy. I mean, it's great. It's a great environment. You guys are great too, but learning, I've seen people learn from the from the very beginning. They think they got it down. They think they got the concept down, but when they start cutting their hair, it's a whole different ball game, and it's a lot more difficult than it seems. But yeah, those are the two main ones: the whole clipper with the over the comb for the long hair, or just the regular. It looks easy. I could do that to my son. I could definitely do that at home, and then a week later you're fixing their mess up. So yeah, those two. Yeah, I can't think of others. Other than the big egos, but I think that's a social media problem.
What? Tell me about that.
The big egos. So I've noticed in the industry, especially with social media, a lot of people post pictures and with different kinds of filters or the new stuff with painting. I like the all natural look, like the haircut that you just made, and it actually looks genuinely good and it'll grow out perfectly well too. Those are the real deals for me. But there's a lot now where people just, I'm a barber. I got the best kind of clippers. I got the bling. I got the clients. Look at this haircut. The filters everywhere. They think they're the for lack of a better word. But generally that's not the case. Yeah, that's not the case. At least for me, a real barber is someone who cares about the client, does really well on the natural hair form of the client, and that's it. And
yeah, I guess, and it loses the essence as well, right?
yeah, definitely. I mean, can you imagine getting a haircut by someone that just has a massive ego and is just worried about himself, and you're just a thing there rolling in the chair, swinging in a chair, just getting a cut, and you don't feel the love or the care coming to you. So I think that's important in anything.
I commend you because in your barbershop you feel the good atmospheres from the moment you walk in. And it feels good to be there, even if you have to wait or while you're waiting for your appointment. And while you're getting your haircut, and then after the fact, it's a very personalized service that definitely makes you feel good, because at the end of the day, not only you want to look presentable, but you want to feel good. And I always felt coming out of the barbershop, I just feel like a movie star, like I'm worth $1 million, or more.
That is awesome. Yes, that's what I look for. Yes. Great.
So thank you. Well, Jess, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you for
having me.
Podcast. So folks, there you have it. Jess from Fine Cut Barbershop. You can book them or you can book an appointment at www.finecutbarbers.com. They are located in 46 North Sussex Street in Dover, and their phone number is 973-620-9737. Jess, thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next appointment.
Awesome. Thank you, Paul. That's great.
Thanks for tuning in to today's show. If you or someone you know would like to be a guest on the show, go to morriscountybusinesspodcast.com. That's morriscountybusinesspodcast.com. We can't wait to get to know you and your business. You can also visit our website to learn about sponsorship opportunities and how to qualify for a complimentary gift. Thanks again for listening to the Morris County Business Podcast.